Hi, this is Dr. Gary. Welcome to our tune-up this week. Over the last couple of weeks, I've noticed a lot of the people that we've talked to around the world, not just here in California, but the people I talk to are about from everywhere. And I went over my records over the last 5 years since we've been doing these tune-ups of some of the things people want to talk about, some of the things that are concerning them. And wow, I cannot believe the shift that I'm noticing in my data. What I'm picking up here is one of the most treacherous areas of all of our lives right now happens to be in relationships. Marriages, couples, communications between children and adults. Over the last 5 years, just in the census that I took here at my operation, is that people are contacting me more and more about their personal relationships being in crisis. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that right now because I think that does affect most of us. And then I took a look at even in my own life with my kids and the people that I have in my life, how has it shifted? And what I found out was quite interesting. I find that people are having a rough time in not only communicating their intentions to other people, they're having a rough time in communicating their meaning and what they're wanting to really talk about and even understanding themselves more. Now we can get into a whole bunch of stuff here that I've been working on and studying, and there's just not enough time in this video. But I suggest each one of you start taking a look at not only the emotional aspects of these things, but let's take a look at the bigger view. What's really going on in the universe, on our planet, pollution, with Mother Earth herself, in the way she's being cared for, the intentions of other people, the shift in the frequency of the way the Earth is even moving on her axis is changed. The Earth core is acting differently now than it has for thousands and thousands of years, getting ready to possibly do a pole shift, which has a huge effect on animals. A lot of the waterfowl and also migrating animals rely heavily on the accuracy of the magnetic poles on the Earth for their direction finding. That even affects us human beings in another way. In the intensity level, what we've calibrated to in our ability to manage our lives, when magnetic levels start changing and frequencies between the poles shift just a little bit, it can put us on edge because the way our pineal gland and the inner part of our ear understand the balance of our life, whether we're standing straight or what we're feeling as far as atmospheric pressure, all of these things are changing a little bit. It has more to do with that than possibly even global warming, which we have universal warming going on all over the universe right now, shifting and changing constantly. All the planets at play are actually organic objects that have a life of their own. And we have to ride on the surface of this little planet that we're on because it has a life of its own and it reacts and acts in certain ways, and it affects all of us as human beings and the animals that roam this earth. So what the heck's that got to do with what I'm talking about today? It has to talk about our moods. It has to talk about our life, our ability to understand. And I'm going to come down to one center point today. And what I want all of us to really understand is, we can talk about all these things, whether they're biochemical or physical in nature, but I'm probably not qualified to talk about most of them. But what I am qualified to talk about is how we behave. And understand that if we can put love in our heart, if we can put the intention to care about other people first, and not just the narcissistic view of taking care of ourselves, which is not a bad thing all the time. We have to have that in order to survive. But many times when we're in a confrontation with someone else, if we can come at it from a loving perspective, especially if it's our spouse or our loved one or maybe our girlfriend or boyfriend, we loved that person once or we were attracted to that person once. What's happened? And many times we want to blame the other person, or we want to blame a circumstance, or we want to blame the economy or a job. No, it's us. And it's not just the one of us, it's the two of us in this inner commingled relationship that are causing the problem because something shifted. Now, things are going to happen all the time. They say one thing is constant is change. You can count on that all the time. We as people are going to change all the time. We're never going to learn to know someone and then have them stay the same for the rest of our life. They're going to grow. They're going to expand. They're going to meet other people. They're going to learn new things even when we're not there. We have to love that person anyway. We have to understand we love them. And true love is allowing that person to grow and be the person they really can be everything they can be. And sometimes there are ups and downs in that. We have to understand that. All of us that are going through life right now together, and we're all in this together on purpose, and we have met each other on purpose. There's a deep meaning in what I'm telling you today, and I'm being driven by another deep force that lies within inside me to even do these videos. I get feedback from each one of you that some of you it actually helps, and I appreciate that. And that's my intention of doing this. But listen, if you're in contrast with someone in your life right now, you have to come back to a place of love and forgiveness. We talk about that all the time, but that's the one force in the universe. If you look at any spiritual readings and writings, whether it's the Bible, anything, it is all about love. And if we can love first, love ourselves and then love others and forgive, usually everything will work out. It's when we have to be right and it's when we have to prove our point and our ego gets involved, that's when we end up in trouble, especially in relationships. If we're going to be in a relationship with anyone, and we're going to be in relationships because we're human, we have to allow other people to grow and other people to be who they are, and we have to love them anyway. If you're in a crisis today, if you're having trouble with someone you're married to or you're in love with, or it's just not going the way you thought it would, come back into this moment now and get way out of the future and get your expectations off what you thought it would be and let it be what it is today and work at forgiving and loving, and what's going to happen is things will settle down. One common thing in the world, everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants to be appreciated, and everyone wants to be noticed. What I'm finding right now is there's more crime, there's more people screaming out, "Notice me, I matter." And if you can notice someone today, especially the one that you love, and just accept them anyway, and just do today the best you can with forgiveness, tomorrow will probably work out a little bit better. Let's work on that. I think this is important. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. And again, thank you for watching these tune-ups. And remember, love comes first and forgiveness above everything else. Money, stuff, how good we look, love and forgiveness. Until next time, this is Dr. Gary wishing you an extraordinary, loving week. Bye-bye.